Welcome to the Proactive Social Impact Fund's weekly LinkedIn Live event. My name is Bill Houston. I'm the founder of CrowdMax, a real estate crowdfunding consulting agency. Today, I'll be interviewing Dr. Canaan Van Williams, Managing Director of Proactive Social Impact Funds. Dr. Van, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Dr. Canaan Van Williams of the Proactive Social Impact Funds uh, and the Proactive Realty Group also, which is our manager of all of our funds. And we are a social impact affordable housing provider group, or that's our mission. My degree is in psychology. I have a doctorate degree in psychology. This is my 25th year in real estate, my 5th year as a fund manager. We're based in South Carolina, Las Vegas, Nevada, Chicago, Illinois, and LaFountain, Indiana.
Great. Thanks, Dr. Van. So today we're going to start out and we're going to start talking about social impact housing. And my first question is, how would you define social impact housing and what role does it play in today's real estate market?
Yes, so social impact housing refers to real estate projects that prioritize affordable housing with meaningful societal benefits, community development, all of those things. It addresses a critical need. However, social impact affordable housing is naturally occurring housing. It's existing properties that need to be revitalized, renovated, and secured, safety features added, energy efficiency uh, components added that we can then pass those cost savings benefits on to our residents. And I'll give you a quick example of that, just so our audience really has a clear picture of what we do. So underserved communities, blighted areas, say you have a 50 unit building. Like right now, we have an opportunity to buy 125 units in one area, 30 units in another. We just have so many projects that have been offered to us for pennies on a dollar. We go into those particular properties, social impact affordable housing. We make upgrades, improvements. It may need a new roof. We put in new windows, energy efficient lighting, energy efficient water heaters, everything that meets or exceeds our sustainable development goals as outlined in our social impact reports. And we go in and we do that, and we pass that cost savings benefits on to our residents. So, for example, a unit that may rent for in the same zip code, and this is it happens all the time. So we'll use 60426 is one of our zip codes in the Chicagoland suburb area. A unit that may rent for, that will rent for 1750, 1800. We can rent for 1400 or 1425 or 1350. And sometimes we're able to even be as low as 1150 or 1175. Our goal is to have a 30% or greater cost savings benefit for our resident.
All right. What are the core values and principles that drive Proactive Realty Group's focus on social impact housing?
Yes, sir. So core values are affordability, inclusivity, sustainability, empowerment of underserved communities. As you know, like Daniel Goleman talks about in his books, he has a series of books out. Emotions are contagious. It's the same with underserved communities. It's the same with social impact. It's the same when you go into an area that's blighted, and just one block at a time or two buildings at a time, clean it up, bring in dumpsters, you landscape, you throw away the furniture. You involve local people who are in the community who may need some day work or who need a hand up, and that becomes contagious. So our core values are we're mission driven. Social impact is our mission. I've spoken about this previously on other LinkedIn live shows and on panels that I've spoken at. And in my bio that talks about, having been a product of social impact growing up, having an aunt on, Section 8 and being able to benefit from that, she had a park across the street from her house, her apartment where she lived for roughly 16, 17 years. And I was able to go over, and they had some after school programs, lunches, breakfast, just a lot of cohesiveness in that community because there was a park there and because there was she had that housing security. So that really, has transferred over into our mission at Proactive and what it is that we do for people and to assist them.
Demographics or communities does your social impact housing target, and how do you ensure it addresses their specific needs?
Oh, great question. So our target market is low income, marginalized, and underserved communities. That's Black, brown, white, Asian, Indian, a mixture. It's low income. So we have no color or ethnicity. That is our target market. Our target market are those who need a hand up at or below the poverty line, above the poverty line, working class housing, individuals who need a second chance, undocumented veterans. We have a huge heart for veterans and their needs and their housing needs, and especially those who are followed by case management. So that's our target market.
How do you balance the financial returns for investors with the social outcomes of your housing projects?
We focus on long-term affordability, stable investments. But number one thing is we go in and we have to buy properties that we know we can pass cost savings benefits on. So the property has some that's the number one criteria is that can we achieve a 30% or greater cost savings benefit to the resident, to the end user. And
Can
so
you
in
share an
balancing
example?
financial returns, oh, excuse me, uh, I got off track a little bit. So in balancing financial returns, we want to make sure the project is viable because in social impact, excuse me, in social impact investment, it's very important to demonstrate that there is a return. There can be a return on investment, and it is an attractive space without pricing people out or making properties unaffordable.
Share an example of a social impact housing project your team has executed and the outcomes achieved.
Um, oh wow, 1735 North Rancho, 20 unit property there. May not sound like much, but we were able to house several second chance housing people and people who needed a place. People who came directly from homeless shelters. However, it's very important to note that in our social impact is that when people come from being unhoused, they go through a process. It's not that they go from being unhoused to directly being placed. No, they go through usually anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks of being vetted, of getting themselves on a path to wanting to be housed again, to getting their ID or their driver's license or just the essentials that are needed to be in a property. Another notable example is our 187 space, our flagship case study, 187 space park in Orangeburg, South Carolina, that was on the verge of being condemned. That we were able to go in, create a lot of home ownership, keep prices low, keep rents low, and really work with that population there. And there's a lot of poverty in Orangeburg, South Carolina.
What challenges have you encountered when trying to scale social impact housing, and how have you overcome those challenges?
Financing. So having investors that believe in and believe that they can achieve a return and that it's a viable project. So access to capital has been number one, and not really community resistance, but we've overcome some challenges through strategic partnerships, leveraging ESG metrics, demonstrating measurable social benefits to win community investor support. I am a large owner in the fund with having $2.8 million invested of my own capital. Actually, it's about a little more than 3 million when you consider uh, our properties in Las Vegas as well, and my equity stake there. So very important is that we have uh, to overcome challenges is that we've demonstrated that this is a viable model.
How do you measure long-term impact of your social housing projects on communities and residents?
Our number one is cost. So our number one metric, cost savings benefits, uh, resident satisfaction, affordability, reduced homelessness, enhanced community safety. We track social incomes such as employment, education, health improvements. Uh, and I'd say that's about it.
How important is affordability when developing social impact housing?
Excuse
And
me.
how do you ensure that it remains affordable over time?
Affordability is a key pillar of social impact investing. So we ensure affordability through when we buy properties that, what is the cost savings benefits to our residents? So careful project planning, any tax incentives that we can use. Like right now in Chicago, we're in Cook County, we're working on Class 8 tax credit to discover if that's viable. If any listeners out there who view this have any advice or suggestions, it'd be greatly appreciated because Cook County has like some of the highest property taxes. And there, if you rent to low income and stay within certain guidelines, you can reduce your property tax bill by up to 60%. And so it's very important for us to find out about that so that we can uh, be able to pass cost savings benefits on to residents and be able to help a lot of families.
What do partnerships with nonprofits, government entities, public-private partnerships play in the development of social impact housing? See,
Partnerships with partnerships with nonprofits are important. Government agencies, social service organizations, they're essential to the success of social impact housing. They provide resources, funding, support services that enhance the sustainability. We work with like a group here in Nevada called Liberty Wellness. We work with like about 5 or 6 groups here in Nevada, Liberty Wellness, and those partnerships are important because a lot of them need housing for their clients, and so we work with them to make sure that it's a fit for both of us, that there is case management in place, that there are safety nets in place.
Okay, great, Dr. Van. So we're going to move on here to the last question. Um, how do you ensure that your projects promote inclusivity and diversity within the communities they serve?
Hmm. Okay. Because we work with diverse stakeholders, we ensure access for all income levels, and especially those who are low income, and we foster community engagement throughout the development process. Uh, and we ensure our projects promote inclusivity by being transparent and being accountable. And Sustainalytics, Morningstar Sustainalytics reporting has become critical to our operations because it's measured impact. And I have nothing against or anything disparaging to say about any other companies out there who, say that they're impact driven or impact focused. However, we have, Morningstar reports. We have a follow up process to that to be accountable. So it's not just it's an annual review that we need to undergo to maintain those social impact reports. For people who are familiar with Morningstar, the bond rating company, the mutual fund rating company, they have very strict guidelines, and it's their ESG, social impact, sustainability. Their Sustainalytics division is very stringent and very strict, and they have certain criteria that you have to meet and adhere to.
Great. I appreciate you bringing up the Sustainalytics because next week we're going to delve deeply into the Morningstar Sustainalytics on our LinkedIn Live. If people want to follow you, if they want to learn more information about Proactive, where can they find that information? How can they follow you, or any other information you want to give them on how they can connect and contact with you and the work that you're doing at Proactive?
Yes, sir. So they can reach me at 1-800-626-2089. Again, 1-800-626-2089, or at Canaan at proactivefunds.com. And also my personal cell, 803-989-8264, 803-989-8264. And our website is proactivefunds.com.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Van. And we will see you next Thursday at 12:30, where we're going to talk about Morningstar Sustainalytics in depth.
And the books coming out. So that, I've been working on the edits. So so we have 2 books that will drop next week. So next Thursday, so next Thursday we can talk about that as well if it's in the schedule, if we have time.
Absolutely. What are the names of the books?
Driving Social Impact and the Affordable Housing Multimillionaire.
All right. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Dr. Van. Appreciate your time. Thank you, audience. And we will see you next Thursday at 12:30.
Thank you so much.